Okay, so we will look at building small web applications using Django. Okay, so as I have told you that please follow the same structure or the rather folder structure which I am going to follow, so that troubleshooting is easy. So first of all, take any directory of your choice. I'm choosing this directory in my case, so I will go here uh, in my Anchorasia Python architect. I'm creating a folder and I'll call it DJNGO1. Okay, so please create a folder by this name, and after that what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to file. I'll create a new project. This I'm doing in PyCharm, and copy and paste this path. Okay, and then we'll create a new project. Okay, I'll create in a new window so that I have already my existing one not in the current. I'll create in the new window. Okay, and I'll say okay. So this is just going to create a blank project for me. That's all it is going to do, right? I mean, it's not doing anything. Now once while the environment is getting created, okay, what we'll do is we will go to this directory Django1, right? In this directory we'll follow certain steps. So let me go to this steps as to how you can create it. So just 1 minute. Okay, so first of all we are going to create a hello world application. So let me close this command prompt, exit. Okay, so this directory which I had Django1, I'll open this directory in command prompt. Fine. So here I'll create a folder with the name mkdir hello world. Okay, so once you do that, if you say dir here, you will see a folder with hello world created here. Okay, please try this much and then we'll continue from here. Okay, so having created hello world folder, if I say dir here, I'll see a folder by the name hello world, right? So now what I'm going to do is cd to hello world. Okay, I change into that directory, and then I will uh, what I will do is I'm going to make use of pip env to do the creation of virtual environment. Okay, so first step which you can do it pip install say pip env, right? So please install this pip environment, which is basically, as I told you, is an official tool for managing packages and creating virtual environment. So please do this installation, and then we will continue with the rest of the things. Okay, so assuming that we have got pip env ready and installed on machines, I'll say cls, it will clear my screen, and then I will install Django. Okay, now for this particular folder here, hello world, I'm installing Django, and the idea, as I told you, is for each project that we are going to create, we'll have a separate virtual environment, right? So I'll say uh, pip env NISTALLDJANGO. So it will install the latest Django for you. So please execute this command in your machine. It will take like a minute or two or even more depending upon your internet speed. So let's finish this step. Okay, so assuming that it is done successfully, you would see command prompt blinking here, this cursor blinking without any error message. Okay, so having done this successfully means we have installed our Django, and virtual environment is created for that, but we have still not activated that VM. Oh, sorry, not VM, virtual environment. Okay, so for that we'll say pip env shell. Okay, if you hit this command, you will see that hello world hyphen some random number will be there. Okay, so if you type this command here, uh, pip env shell, you will see your virtual environment for this particular project activated. Okay, so please quickly try that and let me know if you can see hello world in the bracket with some random number here. Okay, now that we have activated virtual environment, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to create a first project. Okay, so for that I'll say Django, DJNGO hyphen ADMIN. Okay, and I'll say START space hello underscore WRLD and space dot. Okay, so I will ping this command to you on chat. Please take it from chat and execute it. And once I hit enter, okay, so currently let me show you the directory structure where we are doing all this. So hello world, it does not have any folder, right? Now once I hit this Django hyphen admin start project hello underscore world space dot is there. Dot means current directory. I'll hit enter. So let's see what happens as a result of this. I will also ping this command to you meanwhile. So I will go here, and this is the command you have to try. Okay, so I'm pinging that command on the chat window to all of you. Okay, so please try it out, and once you do that, you will see that you will have a hello underscore world folder created here. Also, if you go to your PyCharm here, okay, if you will expand it, you will see all the directory structure created here as well. Okay, so code level changes we'll do in this file. So that's why I had asked you to create that project in the PyCharm as well. Okay, so let me know if you already have done it successfully so that we can move ahead. Okay, so we have created a blank project. Now there are a lot of files created. Okay, so we will come to that part later on. We'll get into the details of the files that have been created later on. So at least for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a command to start the server. So I'll ping that command as well to you. So just 1 minute. So you have to execute this command, python manage.py run server. Okay, so I'll ping it on the chat to you. So take that command and run that command. Okay, let me also run that and show to you. So it is python space manage.py space run server, and if I hit enter, let's see what happens. Okay, so it should show you output something like this. At the end, it will be starting development server at this and quit this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, okay, and I am pinging it to you, and I'll open that link in the browser. Okay, and this is the first page which you will see. This is the default page which is created as a part of a hello world application, web application which we have created, right? So please after typing this command here in command prompt, type the URL first, run this command and type the URL which I have given to you on the browser and hit enter, and see that you have a page like this loaded in your browser. Okay, so let's continue further. Now if you will go to your PyCharm, you will have the file and the folder structure here as well. I mean, we could have done changes into the file using a simple editor, but using PyCharm will make it easy for us, right? So now what we are going to do is, now before we move any further, I am going to start my, sorry, not start, its server is already started. I'll stop by server by typing Control C. Okay, after typing Control C, after typing the Control C, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a small app. Now what is an app? Let's understand the concept of why do I need to create an app. Okay, so I will okay, I will explain what is an app, and then after some time I'll come back and explain what is all these files here. Okay, so Django use the concept of project and apps to keep code clean and readable. What it means is that a single Django project contains one or more apps within it that all work together to power a web application. For example, in a real world e-commerce site might have one app for user authentication, one for payment, third for powering item list and all that, right? So we are trying to modularize the big applications small into small applications. Why? So that I mean, I could even reuse that entire app somewhere else. Plus, modularization makes it easy to make changes into one application without impacting other application, right? So I'm trying to modularize it with the help of creating an app, right? So so what I'm going to do is here I'm going to create a app called Pages. Okay, so um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire after stopping this. I will see CLEAR CLS, and then I will type this command here. I'll say python Python manage, and I'll say startapp and pages. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do is we have already created a default web application. Now we are going to add a simple hello world page to that. Okay, so I will hit enter here. On hitting enter, you will see either you can see it from the Windows Explorer, or here you can come that under hello world you have a pages folder also created, right? Now okay, first execute this command and then I'll come and explain the different files here. Okay, so we have created a pages app and I have told you what is the purpose of the app. Okay, now let's look at a little bit of theory for the files that have got created. All of it is not going to make sense to you all right away, but we'll get a fair idea of what the files are for, and then we'll try to use more of it. Okay, so I will go to my PyCharm here. Okay, I'll start with hello world. This is the project that we had created, right? So it has a file called settings.py. So let me bring up that file to you. Okay, so in some time we'll make some changes in this file, but you should know that setting.py controls are project settings. So when you are starting the uh, working on the project, or rather when we start working on project and adding pages and all those things, we'll make changes into this particular settings.py, right? Then it has a file urls.py. So if you will go here, urls.py is there, right? So it tells Django which page to build in response to browser or URL request. So once you type a URL, it looks here for that request of the URL and loads the corresponding page. That also we are going to see in some time. Then WSGI, which stands for Web Server Gateway Interface, helps Django serve out eventual web pages. You will understand more of this later on. For now, we will look at it later. Then manage.py is basically is used to execute various Django commands such as running local server. So I hope you remember that when we wanted to run, we said manage.py, right? Python manage.py. Okay, so these are the four main files which are part of this the main project which got created, right? This is the main project hello underscore world. So 1 2 3 5, I have explained this to you. So then next is app we created. So app has some files. It has the app name is pages, right? So it has admin.py. If you will see this file, admin.py, okay, is a configuration for built-in Django admin app. We'll talk about more of this later on. Then apps.py, apps.py is there, right? So for the time being, it's a configuration file for app itself, right? Then migrations, it keeps track of any changes of to our model file so that the database and models stay in sync. Here when we create models in the upcoming web application, this is where that folder where you map the models with the database, and that is where I am going to talk more about ORM later on. Fine. So then models is the actual model of the data in the MVC model view controller. This is where we define our database models. And then test.py, suppose you also want to, so we had looked at that test framework also, right? So we have a test.py file if you want to do testing of your framework that you are building, right? So generally you should build application using test driven development strategy or approach. So test.py is basically used to do that. Okay, now I'm sure that you might not have understood all of it, but it will make sense when once we start to play more around with the application, right? So now let's start with making some changes so that we can integrate the app. So we have created what? Pages app, right? So this is the Pages app. We have to integrate it with the main Hello World application that we are working on, right? So how we are going to do it is, even though our new app exists within Django project, right? So you will see that Hello World is the main project, and Pages is an app which we have created, right? And it is under this virtual environment Hello World, right? Even though even though our new app exists within Django project, Django doesn't know about it until we explicitly do it. How do we do it? So I will go to Hello World. So let me close all this, close all. So this is my main project, settings.py is there. So I will go to installed app, okay? And you also have to do it for me. Under Hello World, hello underscore world, there is a settings.py. I will go here and I'll say single quote, comma, and I'll give the name of the app, which is PAGES. Okay, so once we do this, then we are telling that for this Hello World project, this is one of the app which needs to be used. Okay, so can you please try this? Okay, so after making this entry here, after we have done this entry, we have told that okay, there is a Pages app that we want to make use of, right? The next thing which we are going to look at is now when so now look at views and URLs, right? There was a views file and URL file. So when user requests a specific page like home page, the URL conf uses a regular expression to map that request to appropriate view functions, which then returns the uh, uh, correct file. Okay, so what it means is that, let's say under the Pages app which you have there, so let's go to Pages, there is a views file. Okay, now in the views file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this code. What is this doing? You will understand in some time. So basically, what I'm doing here is I'm saying that I'm defining a function, right? It's a Python file. I'm defining a function and it returns this. So from somewhere I'm going to call this particular file. Okay, so for the time being, this is a simple views file or Python file having a simple function. That's all. Okay, so don't worry if you don't understand it completely. Once all the things they are wired together, it will make more sense. Okay, so allow me some time. Now what we are saying, whenever the view function, which is which is the name is homepage view is called, return this, right? That's what we are doing. So when you call a function, what is that function returning? Return this response object with this value here, right? Now we need to configure our URLs, right? URLs, why? Because we have to tell that for this URL, show me so and so page, right? So how do we do that configuring? So we need to configure our URLs within the Pages app, create a urls.py. So in the pages.app, I'll create a file and I'll call it urls.py. So I'll go here, I'll say urls. Okay, and here what I'm saying is that I'm copying this whole thing and I'm putting it here. What is that doing is there are some imports happening. So I guess imports is clear. From Django.urls, import the path, and from the current directory, import views, right? So this is the views file which has the content which I just showed to you. Okay, so and then I'm saying this is important. URL pattern is that for the path which is empty meaning that if you don't type anything after 8000, that is empty. Map it to views dot homepage. So map it to views dot this particular method, right? And this entry is optional for you. Okay, so let's try first of all these steps and then we'll continue. Okay, so I'll come back here. So we have made this entry in the views dot py, and also create this file. as I have already told you, urls.py. Okay, so having done this, now the last step is in the hello world. This is the main project, right? Hello world. There is a file urls.py. So I will go to that hello world urls.py, and here I will copy and put this line. Fine. Now once I do this, what is the purpose of this? So it will say that whenever there is a empty, meaning that there is nothing after the 8000, empty is there, include the pages.url. Now pages is my app, right? Pages.url. So look from here, that's why I told you to keep the name as url with s. Okay, it comes here, and that then for that empty it calls views.homepage. So from the views, where is my views, it calls this method, and then it shows this output to us as an hello world, right? So after I do this, so I have made that entry here. After I do this, I have to again run the command as python manage.py run server. So I will do that. So I'll say python manage runserver, and if I hit enter, okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, it says include is not defined. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to uh, comma include here include as well. After I do this, I will okay, the server has redeployed itself. So now you will see that it is running successfully, right? So I'll go and refresh this page once again here, and you can see the hello world. So as you have just seen, that what I have done is I have created a simple page, right, and displayed hello world. So this is a basically what I should say, a simple page which we have created, and henceforth we are going to build on top of this to create more of how to create a form, how to connect to database, and all those things. Okay, so that's pretty much for the today's discussion. We shall continue further for the advanced concept in the upcoming sessions.